Coming to you live with all the sports action from around the UP. Welcome to Friday Night Frenzy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Frenzy, presented once again by the Venice Pub and Pizzeria of Ishpeming. I'm Jerry Taylor. It might as well be March because the madness is already underway. 8 girls district titles were up for grabs tonight in our coverage area, so let's find out which high school girls basketball teams took home some hardware. We begin in the Class C district final at Ishpeming, where the Hematites battled the Miners. First quarter action, the visiting Miners start out on fire. Rosalie Anderson for 3. Bang, 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 it's good. 5-0 Negaunee early as the Miner fans look pleased. 7-2 Miners midway through the first quarter. Not for long, though. There's Miss Gabby Crowley up and in for 2, and she wasn't done quite yet. Let's go to the second quarter. More from Gabby. She fights her way inside for 2 more, and Ishpeming has first lead of the game at 8-7. In fact, the Hematites went on a 10-1 run midway through the second quarter off the inbounds pass from Brianna Aho. Lindsey Thompson for the long 2. Got it good. 10-7 Hematites. Later on, Ishpeming up 6. Courtney Finola says, I'll make it 4. She hits the long-range jumper from the wing. Negaunee and Ishpeming combined for 28 points at the first half. It was a 14-14 game. There's Jessica Spencer for a long 3-point shot there. But the Hematites would pull away in the second half and win it. Your final score, 46-28. Ishpeming won its 4th straight district championship. So the Hematites are off to play the regional semifinals, I should say, next week in Escanaba. Another Class C district action. Norway defeated Iron Mountain tonight, 49-37 to capture a district title. Norway's Jordan Kramer had 16 points to lead the Knights, who will move on to the regional semifinals on Tuesday, where Norway will play Lance at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. St. Ignace took care of Newberry 63-21, so the Saints, the defending champs in girls Class D hoops from a year ago, get Ishpeming in the other regional semifinal contest. Both games, as well as the regional final, will be held at Escanaba High School. Back to the goods in a Class D regional. Mark Simon Stevenson Eagles battled at home against North Dickinson. First quarter tied at 2. Tori Wagnerin blocks the shot, and here comes Stevenson. Tiffany Wagnerin gets it ahead to Kelsey Johnson for the hoop, plus the harm. That made it 4-2 Eagles. Later in the first, Stevenson leading 15-8. Miranda Jacobson flips it in off the nice feed there from Gina Rotter. We go time ticking down in the opening quarter. The ball was loose on the far end, but Tiffany Wagnerin tracks it down, floats it, and Tiffany fills it. Stevenson had a 17-9 lead over North Dickinson as the Stevenson fan base was on the roller coaster. I believe that's what it's called these days. I'm not in what the kids are in these days. Second quarter, the Nordics not going away. Elizabeth Charlevoix turns fires and hits the bucket plus the foul. North Dickinson was down 6, but the Nordics had no answer for Miss Tiffany Wagnerin. Number 24 in blue and white scored a game-high 38 points. She is heating up at the right time of the year. Stevenson holds on to win the district title 69-62. Back to the scoreboard. Superior Central defeated Big Bay Denac at Rapid River 60-31. So the Cougars are back in the regional semifinals. So Superior Central will take on Stevenson at 7:30 Eastern Time on Tuesday in the regional semifinals at Kingsford. No surprise here. Forest Park wins it 66-23 over Wakefield Marinisco. And Forest Park gets Dollar Bay in the regional semis after the Bays defeated the Panthers at Chastel tonight 43-34. The Trojans at Bays play at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at Kingsford on Tuesday night in the other regional semi. At Menominee, the Maroons held off Houghton. A bit of a stunner there, 48-39 to win a district title. Menominee will play in the regional semifinals on Tuesday at Gaylord High School against Cadillac. Switching gears now to boys basketball. Houghton made the trip to Marquette to take on the Redmond. Kids, well, where else be it Friday night but a basketball game? First quarter, Marquette with the ball. Annie Nyquist drives inside and gets the ball to Larry Burnett, and that gave Marquette a 2-point lead. Later in the first, the Redmond turned defense into offense. Mr. Nyquist picks off the pass and goes coast to coast for the lay-in. That put Marquette up by 4. Houghton would get its offensive gear midway through the first. Trent Kettery rattles in the 3 from the far, or I should say near side. Gremlins down just 3. Back to the team wearing red and white. Burnett not shooting, but sharing the rock because sharing is caring. Brad Brow with the lay-in. Marquette up by 8. Houghton's Sam Bethencourt would drive to the basket for 2 points here, but Marquette wins it running away 62-29. The Redmond play in the Class A district quarterfinals on Monday night at Alpena against the Wildcats. We will have highlights of that game for you Monday night. In other boys high school hoops, just one other score to report. Like the Houghton-Marquette game, this was also a makeup contest. It was Bark River Harris 75, Superior Central 58. Kyle Kleiman led the Broncos with a game-high 38 points. In other basketball action from earlier today, the Finlandia Lady Lions basketball team dropped its opening round conference playoff game in Washington, D.C. to Trinity 68-67, so the Lady Lions are unfortunately out of the GSAC tournament. Hancock alum Haley Gervais scored 14 points today for Finlandia. There's still plenty more ahead in tonight's edition of Friday Night Frenzy. Up next, we head indoors to, warm up on the ice. Bowling Green, Northern Michigan. College hockey is next on the Frenzy right here on ABC 10. And welcome back to the Frenzy, once again presented by the Venice Pub and Pizzeria of Ishpeming. I'm craving a cheeseburger from there right about now. Well, the Northern Michigan hockey team played its final Friday night home game of the regular season tonight. Coming into the weekend, Waltz Wildcats trailed Bemidji State by 1 point for the final playoff spot in the Western Collegiate Hockey Association standings. Let's go to the Berry, where NMU welcomed Bowling Green State to town. First period, the Cats on the attack. Luke Eibler's shot on goal here is tipped home by Stefan Vigier. Goal number 15 on the season for Vige, and NMU led 1-0 after one. Let's go to the second. Reed Seckel kind of fans on the pass, but here comes Eibler. Not passing, he's shooting, and Eibler scoring. His second goal of the campaign made it 2-0 in favor of the Cats. Right after the NMU goal, the Falcons came right at NMU. Matthias Dahlstrom, though, makes not one but two stops at point-blank range to keep Bowling Green off the scoreboard. Less than 8 minutes left in the second. NMU's John Seymour sends the puck across the ice where Brock Maschmeyer quickly puts it past Tommy Burke to light the lamp. NMU led 3-0 after 2 periods of play, and the Wildcats would win it 4-1. Matthias Dahlstrom stopped 24 shots between the pipes for the Cats, who picked up 2 humongous points in the conference standings. And the Wildcats got plenty of help tonight, and they needed it. Minnesota State blanked Lake Superior State in the Sioux 5-0. Alabama Huntsville, go Chargers go, won at Bemidji 2-1 for their second win of the season. The Chargers scored late in the third to take the lead, so Northern moves back to 8th place for now, a point ahead of Bemidji State and 1 point back of Lake State with 3 games left to play. And in Fairbanks, Ferris State in Alaska just dropped the puck at the top of the hour. I'm willing to bet it's a lot warmer up there in Fairbanks than it is here in Ishpeming. Well, let's go talk some bowling now. Boys and girls team bowling finals were held today. A few UP teams were in action downstate. In Division II at Waterford, the Escanaba girls defeated Charlotte in the semifinals by 81 pins before falling to Kearsley in the semifinals by 67 points. At the Division III finals at Airport Lanes in Jackson, my old stomping grounds, matter of fact, the Ishpeming girls qualified 6th. They defeated Coloma in the quarters and Flat Rock in the semifinals before falling to Croswell Lexington by 108 pins in the finals to finish in second place. Cassie Harsela shot 190 in the final round for Ishpeming. The Ishpeming boys fell 5 pins short of qualifying for the quarterfinals. They finished in 9th. The top 8 teams in each section played in the quarters, semis, and finals. In Division IV, Serial City, USA, Battle Creek, the Westwood girls lost in the quarterfinals to Vandercook Lake. The Lance boys finished 13th in the qualifying round. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Frenzy. Don't forget, tomorrow night at the Berry, Northern Michigan will play its final home game of the regular season against the Falcons. They will honor their senior class before the game. Also later on tonight, I will have wrestling results from downstate at the Palace. Don't forget, all weekend long at the Superior Dome is the college softball tournament. Finlandia will be in action. Jimmy Kimmel is next here on ABC 10. Have yourselves a great weekend. Be safe out there, and good night.